Hello and welcome again to another episode of Sweet 301. I'm Sandy Sanderson coming to you live from NCBA Cold Club Sports headquarters here in Pittsburgh, PA. We're here to give you the latest news and updates around all our Cold Club Sports leagues. You can watch all our broadcasts on Sweet 301, our Sweet 301 page on Facebook and on YouTube.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, make sure to remember to like our Facebook pages, follow our Twitter accounts for all the latest news and media, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all our videos from different leagues and to watch previous episodes of Sweet 301.
Christian, you looking good over there? How are you doing with the self-quarantine at home?
You know, getting by day to day. It's getting old at this point, but we're doing what we have to do, but certainly surviving and really looking forward to getting back to normal life for sure.
Right. I think it's about day 36. It feels like day 120 on our end. And, this is supposed to be our busy time of year. March, April, May are usually bonkers. And it's just so strange. You've been around a long time. I've been around 20 years here. I think you're up to 13. I mean, this is usually where we're pulling our hair out and going berserk. And it's just the idleness.
It's certainly a this time of year, like you said. I mean, we're in full postseason mode, and a lot of stress, a lot of excitement. But I honestly think I'd rather take all that stress and anxiety to plan those events over this, because it's hard being here, and I know for our athletes it's tough sitting at home as well.
Absolutely. And it's I don't mean to imply that we're not busy. I'm certainly busy as can be. It's just a different type of busy than I've ever had to deal with in this time of the year. And it's almost uncomfortable. So hopefully we'll just stay at home. What do they call it? What's the term they're using? Stay in place, shelter in place, stay at home. Hopefully this is gone soon. So, well, let's jump into some NCBA updates. I know you're VP of Baseball Operations. Why don't you give us kind of a rundown of where we stand across the baseball leagues?
Yeah, lots of new developments across baseball. I believe since our last show, the Division III teams knew that we had to cancel the postseason, which included the regional playoffs and the World Series. Reason being, one with the regional playoffs being May 1st to 3rd, and this stay at home until April 30th mandate. It just wouldn't give us enough time to even consider having a regional tournament. And then as far as the amount of teams that were left able to participate for the World Series, it just wasn't, just didn't allow us to host the World Series as well. So Division III, the postseason was canceled. I can't remember if we discussed that last episode, Sweet 301, or not, but all the D3 teams were notified of that. In Division II, a recent update as of this past Friday, the postseason was canceled, with the regional tournaments along the same lines as Division III, with them being May 1st through 3rd, and the stay-at-home being until April 30th. It just gave us zero time, or the team zero time, to even plan for playing in a regional tournament May 1st through 3rd. So those had to be shut down. And then with the World Series, similar to Division III, but another hurdle that we came across with the state of Kansas, when we just found out about, I believe on Friday, they have a 14-day quarantine where any players coming from out of town, driving through different states, would have to be in a 14-day quarantine. So anybody that made the World Series would essentially have to get into town 14 days early, quarantine, and then they would be able to participate. Obviously, that wasn't going to be a possibility, so we made the call on Friday that not only regionals but the Division II World Series would be canceled. As far as Division I, we're evaluating regional playoffs on Friday, which was our original timeline, April 24th. So we'll have an idea on Friday what the status of the regional playoffs are. and also be discussing World Series and seeing where we can go with that, if it's something that we can host, those types of things. So those talks will happen this Friday.
Right. And I'm cautiously optimistic about Division One. One of the big things different than Division One and Division Two and Three is that it's just another week further down the timeline, and this situation is changing day by day. There's been some big announcements, in the last couple of days here. Some states have, with the president putting it on the shoulders of the governors to determine when they going to open up their states. A lot of governors teaming up with neighboring states, sort of developing regions that they're going to plan to reopen up together. We've seen a few states announce that there are 4 states in particular that are opening up this weekend, are going to begin the process of opening up this weekend. So there may be time to do some postseason activity in Division One. And also, with some of this new data that's coming out of the antibody testing, where some officials believe really maybe up to 80% of the public has already been exposed to Corona 19. There may be some changes coming up in the next few days where they're starting to relax some of the rules and regulations about quarantining. So we'll stay abreast of the news that's coming out of the task force, and we'll have information out to our D1 teams on Friday about where we're going to go from there. So that kind of gives you an update about where we are on the baseball side. Are there any housekeeping items, officers, presidents should be thinking about right now in terms of, wrapping up the season?
Yeah, I know for all 3 leagues, we sent out league participation agreements, registration forms. It's obviously very important to turn over the officer duties to the next person in line, and having them fill out the registration form so that we can have updated contact information moving forward for all the information that we'll be putting out. So that's very important. And getting league LPAs submitted. And as far as specifically Division III, with that cancellation, I know that Tom McManus, the director of Division III baseball operations, got the league participation agreement out and the registration form, as well as letting teams know that there will be some credits issued to Division III, and working on those things at the other levels. But so teams can be getting in touch with Tom about those credits moving forward. But just making sure that you guys are checking your emails, checking the website, social media, because we're putting out quite a bit of stuff out there. So it's important for you guys to check all those media outlets.
And I believe on the Division II side of things, we're going to be able to release credits to Division II teams moving forward. We'll have those numbers finalized tomorrow, and hopefully Garrett will be getting that out tomorrow. By the end of the day tomorrow, getting that out to all the Division II teams, letting them know what they have to work with moving towards the 2021 season, which is will be the next item up, looking forward. So okay, and then of course a little bit further down the road, we'll have some more Sweet 301s before then, but there'll be the league meeting will come up this summer. The rules meeting will get scheduled for this summer, most likely. Hopefully we'll be in a state where that rules committee can get together in person and talk about baseball rules rather than having to do an online meeting. But we'll evaluate that as the time comes. So, all right, Christian, thank you so much for the update on the baseball side of things. Let's bring Savannah on and get into some NCSA softball updates. Savannah, you there? There she is. Savannah, how we doing out there in Colorado? Uh-oh. We don't have your sound, Savannah. No audio coming from Savannah.
Here we go. Is that better?
There. Yeah, perfect. Crystal clear.
Yay. We are safe at home in Colorado.
You're your own IT director out there solving the computer glitches. Yep. I think last we talked to you that you were getting 20 inches of snow dumped on you in one day.
Yep, and it's 70 here today, so it's beautiful.
Well, good. Well, hey, let's talk about the status of the NCSA, where we are in that process. I know the last show we talked about how the regionals had to get canceled, but we were optimistic about setting the timeline for evaluating a World Series postseason event. Where are we there now?
Yep. So we are like we said last time, we talked about how regional playoffs had to be canceled, and this past weekend would have been the South Atlantic Regional Playoff. We did some nice throwbacks for our South Atlantic Regional Playoffs, and we're hoping to do that this weekend as well, because this coming weekend would be the other 7 regional playoffs that we would have had. And so we are still in process of talking about and discussing the status of the NCSA World Series. Do we have the graphic on our postseason outlook?
Yeah, I think we should be able to get that up there in a second. There it is.
There we go.
So this Friday, the 24th, is also the date where we're going to make the final call on that as well, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So softball team, stay tuned for that. Announcement coming out of our offices on Friday. We'll be able to know where exactly we stand on the softball World Series at that point. One of the big things that goes with the softball World Series is the annual league meeting. Have you thought about, if the softball World Series were to be need to be canceled, how you would be handling that?
Yeah, I think we've thought about, we've been exploring the idea of doing a Zoom meeting at 100-person cap, or doing it via the Facebook Live, or something like that, like we do here on Suite 301. So we've got a couple options. It would definitely be a doable virtual option for us. So I think it might be the best way to go to get more people involved. We haven't really had too many rules things brought up this season, but I would definitely want to go through and let teams know about our exciting news for moving forward in future seasons, because that's a lot about what the league meeting is about, talking about the future. So I look forward to having that meeting with everybody in May.
Yeah, and that meeting will definitely take place, whether or not the softball World Series does take place. The meeting will take place at some point this spring, this summer. It's something we are accustomed to. We're very capable of doing it. We're used to the online meetings on the baseball and basketball side. It's a little bit different now with us not all, at least the staff, not all being in the same office to do it, but we're learning how to do it remotely. We did it successfully with the football side last week, and we've got 2 basketball meetings coming up this week. So we'll have all the kinks ironed out by the time you would need to do it, if necessary. So, well, let's talk on a positive note. We've got some new team development for next season, right? Talk to us about that.
Yes. Yeah. So recently we've added Adrian College, and they're our 3rd new team for the 2020-2021 season. They're joining George Washington and Bellarmine University. We're really excited to have them on board up in that Great Lakes area. Going to add some great competition there. They're looking forward to the fall just as much as we all are. So it's exciting to see new teams coming on board now, being able to talk to them about getting started in the fall really puts things into perspective. So.
Okay. Well, that's good. We love to see, we always love to see growth in all our leagues, but especially in the time like this where everyone's kind of, kind of bumming that we're not on the field playing, it's good to have some positive things to be talking about. Before we close up the softball segment, what do we have on the housekeeping side of things that NCSA leaders should be focused on?
We've got 2 days left to get those All-American nominations in. We've gotten a bunch so far. I'm really excited to be able to recognize your players from this 2019-2020 season that excelled on the field. It's a great way to get, individual players recognized. So please, please, please make sure you're uploading those stats to the website by Thursday and submitting your All-American nominations as well. We'll be releasing all region teams, and then shortly after that, we'll do the All-American team. So I'm excited to get that out. And then the league participation agreement and the registration form, which are the two pieces of renewal paperwork for next season, 2020, 2021, have went out. We've gotten quite a few of them back already. So again, it's one of those things teams are looking forward to the fall already. So please, if you have any questions about that paperwork that went out, if you need help getting signatures, I know most people are not on campus right now. So we'd be happy to help facilitate that. Please give me a call.
All right. Lastly, I don't know what that sound is. Not sure what that sound is in the background, but I'm getting some sort of feedback. I'm not sure it's your background, but hopefully our viewers aren't getting it. Maybe it's just in my earpieces. But all right. So appreciate everything, Savannah. We'll be in touch this Friday to all the teams with updates on the NCSA World Series. And stay safe out there. Enjoy that 70-degree weather.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
All right. We're going to head to a quick commercial break, and we'll return. We'll get into some NCFA football updates.
Such as hats, visors, boonies, and beanies for a great low price. All items are customizable to meet our team's needs. Contact Felicia.Battaglia at coldclubsports.com for all of your headwear needs.
Rawlings is the official uniform, apparel, and equipment sponsor of the NCBA and NCSA. All member teams receive up to 45% off on all Rawlings orders. All uniforms and apparel options are fully customizable. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Justin Rickert at justin.rickert@coldclubsports.com or call at 412-321-8440 extension 111.
The show, Joe Schaefer, Director of NCFA Football Operations. Joe, you there? No volume out of you either, Joe.
Hear me now.
Oh, yep. There you are. Joe, how you doing today?
Doing good, man. How about yourself?
Doing okay. Just holding down the fort here in the office. Trying to be productive as much as possible, which actually, when I'm in the office, I can be. So, well, hey, the NCFA is the one league that really hasn't been hit by the COVID-19 yet because it happened in the off season. I mean, our teams are being a little bit disrupted in terms of spring practice, things like that. But games aren't being canceled, etc. So, why don't you talk us through, the big thing that happened last week was the NCFA league meeting, which I thought was phenomenal. Talk to us about that and how it went down and what came out of it.
Yeah, well, the league meeting was 2 weeks ago now. It was our first ever online streaming format of the league meeting. Was a little concerned about how it's going to flow. I know we do in our other leagues. I thought it was a big success. I mean, we've done it in years past face to face, and it's taken 5 hours to get through a league meeting. Where I think doing it on the online version, we were able to sift through it fast enough and get through it in 2 hours. One shocking thing was that not a lot of rules proposals or changes to the current or the previous 2019 NCFA rulebook. We only sent out one potential rule change on the voting ballot this year, and that would not come into effect until 2021. I believe it is involving max roster size, and there are some internal issues with us being able to afford the insurance for the league. We've already sent out the LPAs for 2020. The league dues fees are already there, written in that contract. We can't amend that. So, if the teams elect to vote to change the max roster size, that would not go into effect until the 2021 season. All the teams should be aware of that. If there's any issues with that, they've been told to contact me or their conference coordinators directly. But that's the main order of business right now. It's just teams are getting that voting ballot completed, and the deadline to get that done is Monday, April 27th. And then I hope to have updates involving potential rules changes for 2021, as soon as Tuesday morning or the end of the day Tuesday. So that's what we're looking at.
To get into that, with the potential increase in a roster size, creates an increase in insurance exposure, which increases insurance premiums, and the teams are already locked into a contract for a set annual dues for the 2020 season. So we would have to increase dues, but they're already under contract for a certain number. So the max roster size, if the teams approve it, 2021, it goes into effect, and we will accordingly alter the NCFA dues to cover that and take care of it for the team. So good explanation there. How about what else is going on this off season? Like, I know schedules are already out. Are we looking at developing the fall kickoff at all? What else is kind of on the back burner? Not on the back burner, but being worked on behind the scenes right now to prep for the 20 season?
Yeah, we're in full swing with trying to get the fall kickoff set up. I've been in communication with the club sports director. And obviously, this coronavirus thing's thrown a little bit of a corkscrew in those developments. Usually, we have that set in stone, around April or May, so teams can sign up and start planning their trip. There's some obstacles that we have to hurdle through, to say the least. We probably won't know until a little later this year as to whether or not we'll be able to reserve the Pitt Sports Dome for the day that we're looking to have it. But other than that, we're working on playoff venues this year. We're working on national championship venue contract. Luckily with the regional playoff sites, those aren't directly affiliated with colleges. We're more or less dealing with the townships and high schools, which is a little easier to deal with right now. But to say the least, this coronavirus thing is delayed a little bit of those conversations. Usually when we get those contracts, we can get them immediately, but for not knowing what the foreseeable future looks like, these places are a little hesitant to send any documents over to us. But I know we have a lot of interest for teams that want to play in the fall kickoff this year. I'm hoping I find out that we'll be able to get the field by sometime in June or July. I'm afraid that at the very latest we'll find out is the first day of August. I know that's pretty late for some of the teams, but the longer that this pandemic progresses, the longer we'll have to wait to get a contract agreement, or at least reserve the facility. But I know we have a lot of interest from the teams. I'm hoping that interest stays. We're looking to expand the event this year from 4 teams, which it's always been. We're looking to get 6 teams involved and have 3 games that day, potentially even 8 teams and have 4 games and just have an all day event. But right now, first things first, we're trying to get the field locked down for October 10th would be the date that we have circled on our calendar for the fall kickoff this year.
All right, good stuff. Well, hey, Joe, we appreciate the update on all things NCFA. Keep up the good work, and we'll talk to you in 2 weeks on the next show.
Sounds good, Sandy. Thanks, man. Take it easy.
All right, thanks. All right, so that's our NCFA segment. On to women's basketball, NCBBAW, and we are going to get Alec Verhoff on the line. Alex tried to join us several weeks in a row with audio problems. Alec, can you hear me? I can hear you, Alec.
I can hear you. Can you?
Oh my goodness. Great to hear your voice.
Weeks, so.
Great to hear your voice.
I appreciate
Glad to get
that.
you on the
Appreciate that.
You even got some lighting in your room now. Look at this.
I mean, what can I say? I'm pretty good.
Pulled out all the stops for us. All right. Yeah. So Alex, talk to us about women's club basketball. Last show we talked about how the national championship had to be shut down. We talked about the national champion was crowned in Ohio State. What updates do we have to talk about right now on the women's basketball side?
So as of last Friday, All Americans were released. We got 3 All American teams that went out. So 15 total players. So congratulations to all of them on having a great season. And that was a good thing. We had about 90% of our season that was finished. So a lot of these teams, they were able to play most of their games, and so we really got to see what a lot of them were capable of. And we named 15 players All-Americans, and congrats to them on great seasons.
And I think we have that list of the All-Americans we can hopefully flash here up on the screen. Take a look at those award winners. Congratulations to those ladies.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah,
there we go. Nice.
Yes,
the first ever, they'll go down 60 years from now. They can all talk about how they were the first ever All-Americans of the National Club Basketball Association Women's Division. So congratulations to those ladies for having exemplary seasons and getting recognition for it. Good stuff. And that's all available on the NCBA website. Now, if you go into go to the women's page and go into the All-Americans tab, you'll be able to view those award winners again.
Right.
Okay. Along with All-Americans, we have the league meeting coming up this Thursday, right? Talk to us about that.
Yep. League meeting, 7 p.m. Eastern time. It'll be via Facebook Live. It's just kind of a good way for us to reach out to the teams. The teams kind of get to meet the NCBBAW staff, go over 2019-2020 season, and then what's to come for 2020-2021. And, we can answer any questions. Teams can propose rule changes. They can all tune in, all that good stuff. So, it's just a good opportunity for them to get to meet us, see where we're going, and, they can voice their opinions on any rules and anything that they would like to be changed. So 7 p.m. Eastern time on Facebook Live.
That's coming up this Thursday. All right, good stuff. Last year's meeting was very crucial because it was the first year of the event. We had developed a lot of, what are our rules going to be on year one coming out of the gate, and got some great participation there. And now it's like, this meeting's almost as important because it's like, all right, we did 1 year. What do we need to fix? And obviously putting a rule in that says don't allow coronavirus to hit the country would be ideal, but we don't have that say so. But, we want to get that feedback from the teams. What little bits can we change to make it an even better experience for them? And so make sure, you officers out there, set your reminders so that you can participate. Or if you've got the new presidents, new officers lined up, have them get involved as well. So, and if you're a team out there that's just thinking about joining the league, it's worthwhile getting involved so you can learn more about how the league operates. So definitely good stuff there. Lastly, housekeeping. I know I believe it was last week, you sent out an email to teams with registration paperwork for next year to renew their membership, as well as membership credits headed their way for next season. Talk to us about deadlines and things like that.
Yeah, so for the renewal LPAs, the deadline is June 1st. I've already gotten some. So, please, as you're transitioning over leadership, keep everybody in the loop, keep me in the loop. Any new team officers, if they didn't get the email from me, if I didn't have their emails, please, forward that their way, introduce me to them. June 1st is the deadline. So, please don't procrastinate. As Savannah was saying, you can't really get into your club sports director's office right now to get the signature. So if you need any help facilitating that, we'd be more than happy to help.
Yeah, absolutely. And, there's always workarounds. People, you sign the document, you scan it, maybe an electronic signature, even printing it, signing it, taking a nice clean photo of it and texting it to your club sports director. There's ways to work around that problem that you can't get face-to-face with your club sports director. But it's important to get that stuff in so that by June 1st, you can take advantage of the credit that's coming your way. And I think you touched on something that's so important right now. Something that worries me quite a bit is that, with the season ending abruptly, in the middle, I'm very concerned about teams not having handed over the reins of the program to the new officers and instead being sent home. And that's an important piece of the evolution of the team. And we want to be very cognizant and work hard to make sure no teams fall apart simply because that transition never was able to take place. So, definitely communicate.
I have had quite a few teams that have reached out with new contacts for next year, and let me know that they're working on the paperwork. So appreciate that. And any teams that are going to have new officers for next year, keep me in the loop, please.
All right, good stuff. Well, thanks for the update on the women's basketball side. We're going to head over to men's basketball and get Christian back on. Alec, thanks so much for chiming in with us, and we'll catch you next show. All right, Christian, you're back. On to men's basketball, Christian. How about, why don't you give us an update on your All-American, all-regional teams release and everything like that?
Yeah, as Alec mentioned, very similar to women's, we had 91% of our season completed. So most teams got to play a lot of their games. So we were able to put together all region teams, and those have been released last week, and they're continually being released each day. Today we got out the South Atlantic, I believe. So all those all region teams are listed on our website as well as on our Facebook groups. So you can view those there, and then we will be selecting the All-Americans here shortly, and those will be released on April 23rd. So exciting stuff. I know it's something, this season kind of came to an abrupt end and not how anybody wanted to have it finish, but having these all-region, all-American teams hopefully provide a little positive spin to the season. So make sure to check out those all-region, all-Americans coming out here shortly on our website and Facebook.
All right, good. And now men's basketball has its league meeting coming up tomorrow night. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, really excited about it. Same thing, it'll be on Facebook, our Facebook groups, and I believe as well as the Facebook NCBBA men's Facebook page. So make sure if you want to tune in to either like our Facebook page or be a member of our group, as the meeting will be streamed there, and you can see a link for the group on the screen right now that you can click on, and well, not on that, but take that URL, put it into your internet machine, and join that group, and you'll be able to view the meeting. But yeah, really exciting stuff. Went through the presentation last week. It's all finalized. A lot of good information going out. We'll be talking about this past year. We'll also be talking about this upcoming year, and then also be discussing rules for next year. So a lot of important information. I highly suggest, if you're a new officer, to tune into that meeting live. If you can't make it to the meeting live, which is tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it will be archived for you to view later. But the only issue with that, you won't be able to interject or ask questions or propose rules. So if you can make that meeting at 7 p.m., certainly try to do so, because we are going to be going over quite a bit of information, important information, and obviously some rules.
As I was very impressed as I perused your preliminary presentation for the meeting. For those of you that don't know at home, Christian spent 12 years in our organization building up the baseball league, up to over 300 teams. He's got a lot of experience over there, and he identified quite a few, I'd call them loopholes in our basketball rules that have kind of been cleaned up on the baseball side. I thought it was very impressive that you're bringing some of those suggestions over to the men's basketball meeting as discussion points to avoid future potential problems that may come up. So good stuff.
Thank you. Should be fun. I'm excited for it.
Oh, absolutely. And
I did not to keep interrupting, but I thought the football meeting that was a couple weeks ago, tuned into that, and even though it's not ideal, we would like to all be together doing this meeting and have different presenters. I thought the football meeting went fantastic. Teams are able to interact with us, ask questions, so it's not like we're kind of throwing this together and figuring it out. It went really well, and hopefully we'll be able to mimic that on the basketball side.
All right, good stuff. Lastly, before we close up shop here, on the housekeeping end of the men's basketball, again, LPAs and refund credits have been issued to teams. Talk to our teams about what kind of deadlines you've got there, and to get that stuff done.
Yeah, all the teams that are due credits for this season were emailed. They can email me back asking how much that credit is going to be for. But in order to earn that credit, whatever the amount it may be, teams need to get their updated league participation agreement for the 2020-2021 season submitted, and their registration form also submitted by June 1st. So, again, kind of piggybacking or echoing what Alex said or Savannah said, if you're having trouble, you're obviously probably at home. If you're having trouble getting your faculty advisor's signature on the form, please let me know. I also found something out on an iPhone. In the Notes app, you can actually scan documents. You just kind of take a picture, and so you can sign it, scan it, email it over to me, and I can email it over to your faculty advisor. So there's a lot of different ways of doing it. So try and get that in by June 1st in order to get that credit. The registration form, another important document, is filled out and sent to us. That's just updated contact information for your team moving forward. So need both those documents by June 1st in order to earn that credit.
All right, good stuff. Well, thank you, Christian. That's going to be our show for this month. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Suite 301. As always, don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Facebook.
Next episode will be Tuesday, May 5th at 3:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Facebook Live. Join us to catch up on everything happening around Cold Club sports.
And don't forget, it's a game.
Have fun.